More alerts just sounded on phones across this country, urging people to get into bomb shelters. This will be a back and forth that continues in the days ahead as the Iranians not just continue their targeting of Israel, but also regional Gulf countries, from the UAE to Saudi Arabia to Bahrain. This is a regional war that is developing following these American and Israeli strikes against Iranian leadership. And you can hear that right now, Griff. Air raid sirens are sounding across Israel's second largest city of Tel Aviv. Stay with me here. Can you grab my vest? Just stay with us, Griff.
Bernie Iggs there in Tel Aviv as he puts on his protective wear, the flak jacket there. Sirens are ringing across Tel Aviv. Sirens have rung across Jerusalem. Iran clearly is retaliating. We have seen Israelis going to the bomb shelters. And Trey, a frightening moment there.
In recent months, reports of drone interceptions have become a recurring feature of tensions between Iran and the United States. Unmanned aircraft, silent surveillance, sudden interceptions over sea and desert. According to official military statements, Iranian drones have approached U.S. naval groups and facilities in the broader Middle East. In some reported incidents, U.S. forces intercepted and shot down those drones after they entered what officials described as defensive zones. At the same time, the United States continues to operate its own unmanned systems in the region for surveillance and, when authorized, strike missions. This is not a traditional air war. There are no large formations of fighter jets meeting in open skies. Instead, the confrontation has shifted toward unmanned platforms, aircraft that fly without pilots, operate at long distances, and alter the pace of escalation. The key issue is not who won each engagement. It is what this drone pattern reveals about how modern conflicts are managed and why they rarely end cleanly. Based on public statements from U.S. Central Command and regional defense officials, several Iranian unmanned aerial vehicles have been intercepted near U.S. naval assets and bases. In at least one reported case, a drone was intercepted near a U.S. carrier strike group operating in international waters. Other reports from northern Iraq suggest drones believed to be launched by Iran, or Iran-aligned groups were intercepted near facilities hosting U.S. personnel. Regional air defense systems in Gulf states have also announced interceptions of drones during periods of heightened tension. Meanwhile, the United States continues to deploy platforms such as the MQ-9 Reaper for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance missions. It is important to note that details surrounding specific engagements are often based on official statements and may not always be independently verified. What is clear is this: drones are now central to how both sides signal intent, test defenses, and apply pressure. Drones change escalation dynamics. Unlike manned aircraft, they reduce immediate human risk. A drone can be shot down without a captured pilot or immediate domestic backlash. This lowers the threshold for confrontation, but lowering the threshold does not reduce tension. In fact, it can increase it. When drones approach naval vessels or military bases, ambiguity follows. Was it surveillance? Was it a warning? Was it a probe of response time? Each interception becomes both a defensive act and a political message. The side launching the drone demonstrates reach. The side intercepting it demonstrates control. Neither side declares war, yet neither side fully disengages. This creates a fragile equilibrium, sustained tension without open conflict. The most likely outcome is continued limited engagements involving drones and air defenses. In this model, drones probe, air defenses respond. Statements are issued. Escalation stops short of broader strikes. This allows both sides to demonstrate capability while avoiding full-scale war. However, managed confrontation depends on discipline and communication. Misidentification or technical error could escalate events quickly. So far, incidents have remained contained, but containment requires constant restraint. Both Iran and the United States have invested heavily in unmanned systems. Iran has developed various long-endurance reconnaissance drones and one-way attack platforms over the past decade. The United States continues to expand its unmanned fleet while integrating artificial intelligence into data processing and threat analysis. As detection systems improve, stealth and electronic countermeasures evolve as well. This creates a cycle. Detection improves, concealment improves, countermeasures improve. The battlefield extends beyond airspace into digital systems. Radar networks, satellites, and electronic warfare infrastructure. Drone warfare is no longer just about aircraft. It is about data. It is unlikely that drone interceptions alone will trigger full-scale war. Both sides appear aware of the economic and strategic costs of open conflict. It is also unlikely that drones will fully replace manned aircraft in the near term. Human-operated platforms remain central to deterrence and command decisions. And it is unlikely that any single interception will decisively shift the regional balance of power. These engagements are incremental, not transformative. What we are witnessing is part of a broader shift in modern conflict. Unmanned systems allow states to gather intelligence, signal presence, test defensive reactions, apply limited pressure, but they also compress timelines. Detection and response now occur in minutes rather than hours. Drone warfare does not deliver decisive outcomes. It produces cycles: launch, intercept, respond, pause, then repeat. The current Iran-US drone encounters are not dramatic air battles. They are controlled tests of escalation. Drones allow confrontation without immediate war. They lower the cost of engagement, but not the strategic consequences. For now, the pattern suggests managed tension rather than open conflict. But managed tension is not stability. It is a narrow balance maintained through restraint. In modern warfare, dominance is less about spectacle and more about control. And control, in the age of drones, depends on how carefully both sides manage a fragile equilibrium that neither fully trusts and neither wants to break.